Stop worrying about homework and start learning with confidence. This is Ask Learn. Complete help for every subject. Like, share, subscribe for daily learning videos.
Two electromagnetic wave are represented below. Again, this one doesn't really have a pictures, but this is question number 5.25, which is a picture here. So all that we're asking about is intensity, energies, and we're talking about yellow light and which one the infrared radiation. All right, so let's get started with the wave. You need to understand what is wave basic. So I want to draw the basic wave here. Wave. Okay, wave has a couple of things that we need to know. First, I'm going to draw the wavelength. Wavelength is always go from the one top part to the next top part. So like this, right? This, sorry, I have hard time drawing straight line. So straight line from here to here, this distance will be equal to wavelength, which is called as lambda. Or you can go from here to here, that would also be the same thing. This distance is also called lambda, right? So these are the wavelengths. Okay, so why I'm talking about wavelengths. Wavelengths is inversely proportional to the frequency. Okay, how do we know this? Frequency is also represented by letter nu. Look like a V, but it's actually pronounced nu, which is come from C equal to lambda nu. So basically what it's saying is if the wavelength increases, the frequency will decreases. These are opposite relationship. Next piece I want to talk about is amplitudes. Amplitudes is always measured from the top of the wave to the resting spot, that middle. This space is called amplitude. And this has to do with intensity of the wave. Same thing again, is go from here to here. This is the amplitudes. All right, the next one you want to know is the color of the rainbow. The color of the rainbow is called Royviv, Roybiv. And you want to know two more afterward. After the V is called, we have UV. Before the R is called, we have something called IR, infrared radiation, UV radiation. So what is happening? So in this line spectrum that we're drawing, okay, this side, if you're on this side, we said energy level is high. And because energy level is high, the frequency is also high. This has to do with equation called E equal to HV. Now, since frequency is very high, the wavelength in here is gonna be down, okay? So that's what you have to understand it. Now let's go back and look at our graph. So according to our graph, which one has higher intensity? Intensity has to do with amplitudes. The bigger the amplitudes, the bigger the intensity. So in this case, A will be the correct answers for that. So let's go back. I'm gonna do that. For question A waves, wave in image A, G, E, A, right, has higher intensity because it has to do with a high amplitude. All right, let's look at B. So what is B? B, let's go back. So which one has higher energy radiation? Again, that has to do with frequency, wavelength. So let's go back and look. Higher energy, higher frequency, lower wavelength. So that means I'm looking for the one with the lower wavelength, the last shortest distance. So let's go back and look at the graph. Distance to distance here, distance to distance here. Right? I can tell you that the distance in an A is shorter. Okay, so that's how we know shorter wavelengths, higher frequency, higher intensity, higher energy. Okay, so that's what it's gonna to be A again. So A is gonna be our answer again. Is because short wavelengths higher frequency, higher energy. All right, let's go and talk about C. C said, which wave is yellow and which wave is infrared? All right, so we need to go back and do yellow versus infrared. Yellow's infrared. Okay, so let's take a look. Yellow's, Roji yellow is here. Infrared is here. Since it's going this way, it's higher energy. Yellow has higher energy. Higher energy, higher frequency, shorter wavelength. So yellow light should have shorter wavelength. So yellow light, shorter wavelengths. Okay, so that means let's take a look back at the question. Which one has the shortest wavelength? Wave A. So that's answer is A. So infrared is gonna be B then, because it's a longer wavelength, shorter, less frequencies, less energy. All right, happy studying.